I'm not trying to denigrate our scholars, but I want to make it clear. To attempt to make all Aboriginal people who are phenotypically black and brown fall under the historical status of African is a mistake that has been guided by two groups of people. One, ignorant people just go to universities created by white folks who follow the systematic structure of white supremacy. That's one. And the second group are those who are more learned amongst these so-called black people or the white people who want to cover and hide history. And they do this intentionally. So you got an ignorant group and you got the group that's carrying out the phenomenon intentionally. Now we did a presentation on this. It's called the Aboriginal Paradigm versus CIA Columbia University controlled Afrocentrism. And we broke down a lot of things about repatriation movement and the use of the term African, how it came out of the Prince Hall Lodge, and how this was an attack on history. Now, for all of you who might not have access to large amounts of books and volumes and able to travel, I want you to do something that's on the phone now or later on. Go to Google and type in the word Africa province. And what's going to happen is you might get some resources of some sort and give you a history of the use of the term Africa. And what you're going to find out is that it was white folks who created the first African province, all right, in 146 BC. And they did this after they conquered some of your ancestors, who we call Carthaginians, under the Carthaginian Empire. It's not, Carthage is not the name, the true name. They were the people of front, or Thompson West, or the Puny people, or so-called, where we get the Greek use of Puny or Phoenician. These were more. These were Aboriginals. But in 146 BC, the Romans conquered a small province and named it African Proconsular. And after naming Africa Proconsular, these white Romans colonized that particular area and became the first Africans. Now that might sound crazy to you, but it's historically a fact that the first Africans were white, and white folks, white Romans made up that particular name. The Aboriginal and indigenous people of that particular landmass never called themselves Africans. So to call yourself African today is a term that denotes that you are colonized and do not know your history. Now, you might not be able to stomach that, but it is a fact. All right, so we need to check this information out for ourselves. And we will find that the first coins were African coins with white faces on them. You'll find emperors like Emperor Hadrian and others who were white Romans who were considered African. Now we have 54, 55 countries on that particular continent, all with pretty much so-called phenotypically black leaders. And they are all controlled by white people, financially, etc. A lot of us over here, we cry about, man, we need land. You can't be starving without land. You can't go to Africa and say our people don't got no land. They have more land than you can think of. But if it goes to show, you can have all the land that you want. If you don't have your mind, you are still a slave. If you don't have your mind, you are still a slave.
Salute, 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 free people.
I'm not trying to denigrate our scholars, but I want to make it clear. To attempt to make all Aboriginal people who are phenotypically black and brown fall under the historical status of African is a mistake that has been guided by two groups of people. One, ignorant people who just go to universities created by white folks who follow the systematic structure of white supremacy. That's one. And the second group are those who are more learned amongst these so-called black people or the white people who want to cover and hide history. And they do this intentionally. So you got an ignorant group and you got the group that's carrying out the phenomena intentionally. Now, we did a presentation on this. It's called the Aboriginal Paradigm versus the CIA Columbia University controlled Afrocentricity. And we broke down a lot of things about the repatriation movement and the use of the term African, how it came out of the Prince Hall Lodge, and how this was an attack on history. Now, for all of you who might not have access to large amounts of books and volumes and be able to travel, I want you to do something if you're on the phone now or later on. Go to Google and type in the word Africa province. And what's going to happen is you might get some resources of some sort that give you the history of the use of the term Africa. And what you're going to find out is that it was white folks who created the first African province, all right, 146 BC. And they did this after they conquered some of your ancestors, who we call Carthaginians, under the Carthaginian Empire. It's not, Carthage is not the name, the true name. They were the people of Punt, or Thompson West, or the Puny people, or so-called, where we get the Greek use of Puny or Phoenician. These were Moors. These were Aboriginals. But in 146 BC, the Romans conquered a small province and named it African Proconsularis. And after naming Africa Proconsularis, these white Romans colonized that particular area and became the first Africans. Now that might sound crazy to you, but it's historically a fact that the first Africans were white, and white folks, white Romans made up that particular name. The Aboriginal and indigenous peoples of that particular landmass never called themselves Africans. So to call yourself African today is a term that denotes that you are colonized and do not know your history. Now, you might not be able to stomach that, but it is a fact. All right, so we need to check this information out for ourselves. And we will find that the first coins were African coins with white faces on them. You'll find emperors like Emperor Hadrian and others who were white Romans who were considered African. Now we have 54 or 55 countries on that particular continent, all with pretty much so-called phenotypically black leaders. And they are all controlled by white people, financially, etc. A lot of us over here, we cry about where we need land. You can't be shopping without land. You can't go to Africa and say our people don't got no land. They have more land than you can think of. But it goes to show you can have all the land that you want. If you don't have your mind, you are still a slave. If you don't have your mind, you are still a slave.
If you don't have your mind, you're still a slave. I'm not sure how the volume is. Really not sure how the volume is, if it's clear. But as usual, you see, we're outdoors. Yeah. Yeah, man. We like the outdoor setting, and we work with what we have and give thanks. Now, you know, I like to take some notes and just present some information for our people. So again, West Indian paradigm, who we are. And I say the Ahmara-Khan island of Xamaya-Kha. And I spell America that way. And I spell so-called Jamaica that way, specifically. What my people have to try to comprehend is that the foreign British people come here and conquer this place, so-called on paper, and then them give this place the name called Jamaica. And as such, when you or any one of us, you know, acclaim this Jamaica, then you claim a name was controlled by the British. And whoever control them name, they know say them are govern whatever it is. So this is why when we talk about my location, we say Ahmara-Kha, according to our language structure, our Indish language structure, or the Hebrew language structure. Yeah, man. And when we say for Jamaica, in them English, we have it as Xamaya-Kha. Someone will say Yamaka, you know, with an I. And we have some people where two of them have this colonized mentality, you know, and learn from the Pan-Africans like the Muta Baruka and the Cutting Edge program where them talk a lot of Pan-African narrative. But them learn them thing they out of the Prince Hall Lodge. Because remember, you know, all of them Rasta they are the leaders, the top one them are Freemason. Just like the Maroons, the top one them are Freemason. L.A. Lewis will confirm these things. And when you talk about Lodge and Freemason, you know, say the judiciary on the island here is a part of that. So that include the police, even some of them military. So this is where them have them secret organization, and this is where them start promote this African narrative, back to Africa narrative. Because remember, you know, the colonizers are the one them where create the educational structure in order to maintain the colonization. This is why I say you all are a colonized people and on accept on colonization willingly. Because no man now rebut it outside of I. No man now challenge it outside of I. Not one of y'all, but it's understandable. Because it's kind of complex and you have to really depend on a certain specific level in order for really try, you know, express where you experience and where you say are going out there. So I man give thanks for the ancestral spirit where I animate I naturally. Me not have to pretend. You understand? And the more I go along and the more I see myself, I feel stand alone. You know what I mean? Where I say everyone kind of separate from around me, per se. And when I see all, either say I lose one of them best friend, one of them kind of ones that were is so dear. Either ask, then I what the reason? Because you have one little bad man in a rasta. Me I say, no, not like that. I would say it's more incompatible, irreconcilability, and I leave it at that. But yeah, man, when you take on them journey, you go face the adversity of fire, meaning you go through a lot of differences, but all of those things is for solidify you, is for strengthen you, is for empower you. When we lock up down a GP, you'd have an artist named Laden. I think me in one of them sell the number 4 or something like that. And I think he made over number 5 or one of them sell it, but the man did have a tune where he might play. And when he might sing it a cappella, yo, it go right to your soul. And then the rhythm where him kind of back it up with, you know? Like he must say, now that I can make it on my own, I don't need nobody. Yo, the man, yo, me not hear him. Boy, me a search YouTube in a you know, Laden catalog, but me not hear that style there. But you see, if Laden ever remember that style and bring it forward, remember me telling you, man, it got tear up the earth. When you hear the tune, you know, it come like this at the first time you hear the tune where Tommy Lee and Cranium do. Where you must say, our place. No boy can't thump in our face because of our place. Salute, tick tick, on a GP side there. Long time I no link the warrior about I know say boy, I don't have the strength for really strength behind them. They only can put out information where the item can gather up. But me I tell you, we not forget the item. Salute my general, Kildare, honorable out there. Yeah man. I'm a little cool brethren, you know. Alexander. Yeah, man. Rifleman, you know. Yeah, them youth, they love it, you know. Every man deserves a chance to balance themselves. So, yeah, accordingly, accordingly. Forgive me, every now and again, I kind of, you know, digress a bit. But me have to salute the warrior them where I hold it off around a GP. Me can't talk about this or through me pass through around there for 45 days. And a psychological evaluation, which was a setup. But you don't know, we have to just bear the burden when we're on them kind of journey, yeah. But the ones them who know certain things, if we not say certain things. It's like me have court on Friday. But I unintentionally went to that court area late. Because I'm gonna leave my house till probably about 1 o'clock or after 1. So when I get in a Spanish town and thing about 1:30 by the time I reach the court. When I reach the court by about 1:30 and thing, people, everything empty. Me I say, what kind of car this them a drop on me now? When I go inside and ask a security brethren and thing, where I'm kind of familiar with him and thing. Man, I say, boy, the court lockdown and thing, you know, bomb, scare. True, me not really out there, me not hear no news or nothing, so me not really know. But I think I got sit in with my JP brethren and him should give me some, you know, information which should be accurate. And then I can know, say, boy, if I this or that. But people know court. You know what I mean? But me not see them send a warrant out for a man like I. I know them would have love an excuse to play them games, you know. But you know, a man like I care zero, because true me know me not criminal. Me know me not engage in a criminality. And I know me now go engage in a criminality only because of the knowledge that we keep. And anytime we do decide to say we are going to do any kind of business or our own private business, where Babylon not have no jurisdiction. Babylon. All when them take when at the court, them are going to realize the moment we not subscribe to no political, you know, you just say governance, then we don't have no jurisdiction. That's all it is. And this is what me I try express. This is what my advocacy is. Freedom. Freedom in, freedom in, nothing else. Remember we say we're non-political, you know. And if we're gonna deal with any kind of politics, we're gonna have to step forward with our own political organization. And we call it non-political because we don't want to mix up, mingle, and we don't want assimilation. I just we that. We just say, boy, we are doing things through within our land, and we know all kind of foreign people coming to our land and do business. And according to information where we are share, me I show my people so them construe us, them I presume say all of we are business people. Cause them I deal with us as merchant. Cause when we are talk about the common law, it's really the law merchant is the law of the land, my people. And how we gonna know that? I man couldn't know that if I man never choose to apply myself. No guru now go have time for you tell you that. Because the information is too vast. It's only the ancestral spirit where animate I and the I can manifest these information to give us clarity. This is why I'm saying now begging a friend out here, you know. And when the journey get like this, where when I look right and look left, I say no one. And when I go home, I say, boy, the place empty. I'm now all alone. But true me know say we always set the blame and say, boy, I guess I am the bad guy. If 1 and 2 is there and you good, then me must be bad. If you right, then me must be wrong. So I need for back and forth. I just move along. I man just move along. Yeah, man. And we do give thanks. So I guess Monday, I don't know how I get over the court because I have to grab and scrape and find a fear for go around there. So I probably have to go walk from here, so go over the court Monday. And so I don't know about the court. I just go right to the office and ascertain where I go on, get some information, and have them people, I give them a car, fix it up, and compensate me for all of this garbage, and that is it. Case closed. Now, if them not want to do that, I don't have a problem. I continue box with them. Yeah, because I not submit. Yeah, man, I'm not have no plea for plea. Because I'm not going to stop call them sodomite. And any guy not like me when me a burn them fire, me say up and down, all it up a mother. So I go on, me not care. When I see my own people, them a burn me. And I say, oh, them a burn. And me I say, then I wear the fire for, how them a burn me? Man, them say me burn everything. Yeah, me a burn too much fire, so them a burn me. That just sound paradoxical to a man like me. So I say, sure, them illiteracy. When you colonize, you know, you can acknowledge and recognize a man like me only because you're colonized. And when I say colonize, it's just a fancy way to say you're a slave. And we can prove it. How do you know you're colonized? Look at the laws where you subject yourself to. That's why I bun them and say government of Jamaica and parliament, not even on the laws not apply to the free man. How can it? When I subscribe the phone program, can't apply. Cannot apply. Anyway, I'm not gonna go all day with this thing, because I'm gonna just post it out there for the item I read. But I'm gonna just share a few. It's a West Indian paradigm, who we are, the American island of Xamaya-Kha, Xamaya-Khan, Awakan, yeah. Before the formal invasion, occupation, and colonization of continental America by the Spanish Roman crown in 1492 to 1494, and then by the German British Roman crown, because all of them are work for Rome, in 1655 to 2024, because the colonization is still extant. We still have a foreign head of state somewhere. This is why you see the local political criminal them want get rid of the head of state so them can claim all this land and say it's theirs. But them never account on the Nestorian king being around. And all what gonna happen is when I try that, we'll raise the Awak army and we'll just start hunting it down. And we're not gonna play in a game. Everywhere we soon we are decapitate and we are leave on a head on a stake. So everybody can say, here goes one of the politicians will take all our money. This is how we are dealing with them. Yeah, man. So we say where the German British stayed, occupied, and colonized the West Indian American hemispheric area. We, the noble West Indian American, existed on the continent from time immemorial until a mixed group of Asiatic people from the east informally migrated to the west, initiating our first conflict with foreigners. This conflict was resolved by the Great Law of Peace, which is the American Indian Constitution at that period in time, before the 1492 formal invasion. I bet no foreigner never know them things. But as time go by, we get certain information. Number 3, at that period in time, the West Indian area includes southern part of North America, all the way up to Maryland, northern part of South America, all the way down to Guyana, and all of Mexico was our place. When we say our place, you're going to see people where depict the Olmec image. And when you look upon an image of the Olmec, because the Olmec is the oldest civilization on the earth, whether you want to accept it, acknowledge it, or even believe it. And that image represent my people. I have some information for share, but through me not the inside the house, it kind of a bit inconvenient for hook up my hard drive and, you know what I mean, all of these things. But I got find a way and share these things, because I soon I go probably work with Flow, because I know Flow supposed to have a little cheap $5,000 program a month for just the internet. Because I say, why me I pay 10,000 for internet with Sodomite Digital, where it's a criminal enterprise. But again, as we go along, as we go along. Now may I say the two Indians clarified. You have American Indian and you have Asian Indian, my people. Now may I say Indian is a long established label or term used across the earth long before the Moorish label or term. Notice the word Indian when used. It is always in a capitalized form, unlike any other word used to label our people. Always a capitalized form, meaning you have an uppercase I followed by lowercase letters. Now we look at the definition. Because me always, it seems like me I repeat myself sometime and, me keep going over these things. But again, me I telling us that there is power in repetition. I'm not going to stay all day. You understand? But we say Indian, an adjective relating to the indigenous peoples of America. Number two, relating to India / Hindu of Asia, or that subcontinent comprising India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So we are literally look upon the two distinct Indias. Now we say as a noun, Indian, it's an American Indian. And this is just the basic definition because we use the American English language dictionary and you get it more expressive. Now them say two, as a noun, a native or inhabitant of India in Asia or a person of Indian descent. Now, we have a usage. Indian, meaning native of America before the arrival of Europeans, is objected to by many who now favor Native American. There are others, including many members of these ethnic groups, however, who see nothing wrong with Indian or American Indian, which are long established terms, although the preference, where possible, is to refer to specific peoples as Apache, Delaware, and so on. The term Amerid and Amerindian, once proposed as alternatives to Indian, are used in linguistic and anthropology, but have never gained widespread use. Newer alternative, not widely used or established, include First Nation, especially in Canada, and the more generic Aboriginal peoples. It should be noted that Indian is held by many not to include some American groups, for example, Inuits and Eskimos. That's because them are the Asian from people from Asia and a bunch of others like them. We have American Indian. Noun, a member of any of the indigenous people of North, Central, and South America, especially those of North America, as an adjective relating to American Indian groups. Now we say the term American Indian has been steadily replaced, especially in official context, by the more recent, these are the foreign people, Native American, these are the so-called Asian Indians. first recorded in 1950s. Remember, we're there from time immemorial as American, American Indian, West Indian, and become prominent in the 1970s. The latter, American Indian, is preferred by some as being a more accurate description. The word Indian recalling Columbus' assumption that on reaching America, he had reached the east coast of India. I remember the people them over India, what them I call Indian, is really the Jawar people will look like us, the Dravidian type people, the Tamil type people, not the dark skin, straight hair, stringy type. No. The Negro looking type is the one where them hide, or the one where them wipe out and rearrange. So even the Hindu where you say occupy that location, they're not original there people. But again, as time go by, we share information. Now we say Asian East Indian, adjective relating to or characteristic of the East Indies or its inhabitant. An East Indian city, and then them say as a noun, them not give much right here again. A native or inhabitant of the East Indies. So you have East Indies on the Eastern Hemisphere or the Eastern Hemispheric area, and you have West Indies, which this is the Western Hemispheric area. Them information here for my little colonized people will love to talk about Mama Africa. Mama Africa. You know, dunce like Ratbat. Can't find them way in a lit room. Some want to know go apply on yourself and know say a Roman, foreign, WIGHT, foreign white Roman people conquer a province in Africa from back in a them time, the 146. How long me have to share the information. And this is when them call the place Africa. Ancient people that call them place Kush, Aikibola, and all kind of different term. And the original African that is not colonized will never call themselves African. It's only the colonized people call themselves that, just like the people them that is colonized here. So they are proud Jamaican only because they're colonized. They are totally unaware that this place was called Santiago when the Spanish had it. And before that, when we were here, before we were conquered, before we were tricked, before we were deceived, it was known as Xamaya-Kha. Some people say Yamaka, or when I'm spell it with an IAM. So again, my people, you know, if you take my word for it, you know, we can just go on share information and we learn. Because remember, I'm not there out here beg no friend, you know. My journey and I want easy one, and I don't mind. I just want to make sure I know say boy, I not violate the order. Yeah, I not go on with no wrongs out there. So more time I'm a speech will offend people. And if there is any kind of speech where I man make where is offensive, step up so we can glean clarity. But if you lock all discussion, then there can be no resolution. This is why I say the traffic court is in this honor. Because them ignore the discussion phase of due process. Them ignore the negotiation phase of due process. And because them have a criminal mentality, because they're a criminal enterprise, they went straight to adjudication, betting or risking that I man I gotta just roll over and play the colonized game. No, we are bringing information and we are standing our ground and say we not submit, we not consent. In fact, no more will we choose to participate in any kind of unlawful court process. Fire burn. Who not like it? We not care. Fire burn out there. Like we care. Our journey not just start yesterday. You understand? Only because we not see we today. So we give thanks for all, But when a mind I say okay. When a mind I say okay. Acknowledge and accept it. And we move forward. What you say, man? You have some people called Indian from Asia over there in the east. And then you have us who are Indian. Yes, sir. We don't have nothing to do with no more. Now we look at indigenous. It's an adjective. So you can't say, hey, I'm indigenous. That only express the fact that, yeah, you're supposed to be, but you're not. But when you say Indian, that more specific. Indigenous, adjective originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Native, the indigenous people of Siberia. Cor- coriander is indigenous to southern Europe. I don't know nothing about Europe like that. Indigenous species, native, original, aboriginal, autochthonous, local, domestic, homegrown, earliest, first. Origin, this indigenous term, and mid 17th century, them thing new. From Latin, indigena, a native, see indigene. Now we look at more. Now, a member of a Northwestern African Muslim people of mixed Beriberi and Arab descent. So that's why I'm gonna use the term Moorish. You know what I mean? Only because of the ambiguity of the word. Yeah. Because Moor can mean a piece of land out there, it can mean anything. But when you say Indian, it say be specific. Asian Indian or American Indian. And that's it. That's it. In the 8th century, they conquered the Iberian Peninsula. What is the Iberian Peninsula? The Iberian Peninsula is Portugal and Spain and up in the North Africa. That's what them are called Iberian Peninsula. So if you never know, say them very same people here, where you say come around here in 1492, you have to get clarity with these names and words them are used out there. I people. And again, origin from Old French, more via Latin, from Greek, Moros, inhabitants of Mauretania. We now make them tell we what them want tell we. Now we are touched upon the 1962 independent estate Jamaica Commonwealth, pursuant to the Independence Act of the British Parliament, 19th of June 1962, which is in fact an amendment to the 1948 British Nationality Act, pursuant to Section 2, subsection 1. The American island of Jamaica was a free, sovereign, independent island nation maintaining the status of a sovereign republic within the Commonwealth. This means there can be no visa requirement to travel within the Commonwealth nations or countries of which Jamaica is a Commonwealth member. So if you go anywhere, England and America, you don't need visa when you have certain information. The Organization of American States was the first instrument that reflects the unity among the sovereign American island nations, along with the Inter-American Treaty, which is an agreement under international law entered into by sovereign state actors and international organizations. A treaty may also be known as a protocol, covenant, convention, pact, or exchange of letters, among other terms. Regardless of the terminology, all these forms of agreements are under international law, equally considered treaties, and the rules are the same. So you know them, it's deemed as contract. Treaties can loosely compare to contracts. Both are means willing parties assume an obligation among themselves, and a party to either that fails to live up to their obligation can be liable under international law. This is why we can use the Inter-American Treaty along with the World Passport and, a couple more documents when we are moved and when them challenge, we stand our ground and go through them process and we're going to win. I remember, them a public servant, but them I presume say you're a slave. So you have to always rebut these things. Extant colonization by usurpation. The statutory federal agency, the government of Jamaica, represent represents the colonists who are the enslavers working on behalf of their colonial master, the British Roman Crown, that usurp or estate on paper, or estate on paper. Estate, an extensive area of land in a country, usually with a large house owned by one person, family, or an organization. Estate. Number two, all the money and property owned by a particular person, especially at death. Now, when we say estate, your legal juristic person represents your estate. You understand? And when you're born, this is when them use a hospital record to create the infant estate. And when you never claim it, them say boy it is abandoned and them deem you dead, lost at sea. Now it's a decedent estate them are administer. This is why it's in all capital, where I'm gonna call it a sophisticated financial instrument, because it's being administered as a decedent estate. However, it is also represent a surety according to the attachments to this instrument. How might well me have to say it, whether my people are get it or not. Me have to bring it and leave it out here for when my people reach a level, them can, what I mean, at least say them familiar. I've heard this before. Yeah, man. And move forward. So again, your estate or your birth registration form or your birth certificate or that legal entity state the particular condition that someone or something is in at a specific time. Number two, a nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one government. Number three, the civil government of a country. The statutory, number one, the statutory legal standards, rules, and regulation enforced as law issued by a statutory instrument. The Jamaica Constitution, Order in Council 1962, is the existing colonization in plain view or plain sight. Number two, the racist colonial slave codes from the 1600s has evolved into statutory rules and regulation, which is in direct conflict with the fundamental rights and freedoms secured and guaranteed by the constitutional contractual charter. The agency known as the Government of Jamaica is only a representative of the 1962 free independent estate, Jamaica Commonwealth. The agency is only the fiduciary trustee for the free and independent estate, Jamaica Commonwealth, and the West Indians that still exist therein. The estate is represented by a legal entity or juristic person in the form of a negotiable instrument, i.e., the certification of vital record, which was hypothecated or monetized at the Island Records Office as a surety bond, which the birth registration form is evidential proof of this fact. The estate represents your body, which is the land from which the West Indian derive, exist, and represent. The estate is expressed as the juristic entity or legal person. The estate is being administered by the public trustees who appoint themselves as executors and administrators over the decedent estate, because we are presumed dead or lost at sea. No, brother. Number 9, we must redeem our estate by assuming the position of the private executor functioning from that office over your own estate, which is our surety or exemption. By our dismissal and non-approval of these agents as our representative, we naturally remove the presumption of the public trustee acting as executor and administrator over our own affairs or estate. Number 10, federal statutes issued by statutory instruments that are maintained under the Uniform Commercial Code, which prescribe international contract or conflict procedural policies, which can only have effect of law if it harmonizes with the constitutional contract laid out in Chapter 3 as amended 2011, the Bill or Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom that is maintained under the substantive common law. Never wrap it up now in a people. Cause them one here just information. We not look no friends, so we not gonna get no views, but we are doing things. British, letter of marquee or letter of mark. Noun, letter of mark. Historically, a license to fit out an armed vessel, police, and use it to capture in the capture of enemy merchant ship, vessel, and to commit acts which would otherwise have constituted piracy. So when they say them I use their taxpayer money for buy equipment for get the police, this is when them I get them license and I arm them for capture enemy merchant ship. And you know them call you vessel, their body a vessel. And remember them view you as merchant, whether them label you such or not, your view as a merchant. So naturally, you're engaging business, commercial business, without you being knowing it. This is why them talk about an antecedent contract or a pre-existing contract. You know what I mean, my people? Your post is too long. Try shortening it. Yeah, man. So we just bring forth them information here again. We are pass through a do we thing and yeah, we just keep it simple. We just keep it simple, my people. Again, the brave may fall but never yield, and we say bold and brave, we say firm and strong. And when you call yourself African, just know it's only because you're colonized. You don't know the difference. You get your education from a colonial system, a colonial institution of learning, making you institutionalized. This is why we say you're colonized. The laws that are in place is colonial laws, slave codes. All them do a fancy it up, but because them have you people so dumbed down, them get away with it until now. We choose to challenge these things. That's all it is. And we share the information so what people can at least choose to apply themselves. You don't have to take my word for it. Apply yourself, bring some things forward so all of we can learn, including myself. I remember, I'm a neophyte. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm the student here, totally and completely receptive to learning, truly. Anyway, give thanks for the time. Yeah, man. Give thanks for the energy. Salute out the free people. The brave may but never yield, and we say bold and brave, firm and strong. Yeah, man. Again, with us pass through a do it thing, and we are said, give thanks out there. Shango Lion, gratitude for passing through. One of the joy when me I experience is when my sister warrior just step to me privately and make me know say, yeah, them a move here or them a move there or them get documentation up where them get a visa where them can at least, improve them situation and them family situation by leaving the island and going to any other location, go apply themselves. And them thing that make me feel great within myself, you know. So me I look around and see ones and ones where choose to apply themselves and move, while others were, you know, choose to restrict themselves. Put it that way. There's no limitation out there, my people. One of the most important thing is try to maintain the golden rule where you're not doing no wrong out there. But people will accuse you wrongly and can't validate the accusations where them bring forward. You understand? Them will just say, hey, you did you know, you've done this to me. Yet you have to say, what is it? You know what I mean? Because it not seem like the ordinary or the conventional issues. You know what I mean? So we know that it's an escape strategy. Yeah. But it's only when you have logistic knowledge that we really behave them way, you know. So, you know, my people have to just apply themselves for themselves so we can, you know, although we're done, so we can at least appear to be bright. Put it that way. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Anyway, but I saw my neighbor step to me and I said, well, one of the neighbor them, because I have a neighbor who park beside me and her daughter move in with her, so her daughter start park in my parking spot. So it would look like a somewhat body where I come to me, I park there. So one of the neighbor them now, I said to me, sir, well, you tell them, so you give them permission for park, you know what I mean? Them ask if you can park. I said, no, man, I'm not like that, man, because, you know, me and the lady is good like that. And then it's a little pastor lady where she do her thing. So I know she get a lot of fight when she does come into the place too. You know, when you preach loud and pray loud, the neighbors them gonna have issue with you. Until the next man come with a big sound system where when him play for him untie the vibes cartel, nobody can say nothing. And it's louder than even the little pastor. So when people think me gonna have issues with the petty thing, I don't. Once me have a car for park, nobody can park in my space, and nobody can just take anything from me. Period. And so me know that me not have to behave inappropriately, but me know ones where have them own assumption and presumption, and you know thinks about something else when it's not. So again, fallacy. This is why we just choose to walk away. Yeah, man. And say give thanks and praise. Salute, I people. Salute. I tell my group chat, I go close it down and stop share information. But again, you know, we are doing our very best. We really are doing our very best. And I try hold on. So we do give thanks. Salute free people. Stop calling yourself. Well, just know you colonize. And once you can accept your colonization, if you choose to be uncolonized, then you will move in that direction. But any man where I say, boy, me I burn too much fire, me I say, more fire for you. More fire for you. I come across a brethren taxi youth, you know, man. The man, I like the man intelligence. Come on. I you like them ones, yeah, me know, say, I got, you know, share information and apply themselves and bring some change. I like when the youth them, you know, bright and all when a taxi I drive, me can come in and salute you because me is a man a ram for lick fire because I say 90% of who I drive taxi can't read and write. So you fall in the 10% where, you know, proper out there, knowledgeable out there and willing to learn. So salute my king out there. Yeah man, I think our wildfire. I forgot look back on your money, but yeah, come on, a brethren there. Honor out there. And salute to the group chat, salute to the people of the group chat. Yeah, even though the ones them in them own world, salute for the support what we get when we do get it. My brethren Joel Jaguar say, it's always an honor, always. Yeah, salute to your family, including your beautiful daughter on the island. Yeah, man. All other our work out there, we are say complete gratitude and we are say honor. Yeah, we are say salute. We are say we remain consistent. I try tell the truth every time and I share the truth every time. And I'm glad deal with the truth all the time. Yeah, we truly try to remain consistent. And when we can entertain ourselves and go on it, we do that and laugh at ourselves and give the eye them some joke, even though more time our joke them stiff. When we crack our joke, we don't laugh until this thing gone. All the next day on the day I work, when I said, and that the sovereign man did really say, I just find the joke. So we always I give joke, but we don't get it right away. Yeah, man. So we do give thanks for the energy. We do give thanks for the effort, and I'm not lie. The outdoors bring its own energy. Really. It really bring its own energy. So again, I people, complete gratitude. The brave may fall, but never yield. Man like I said, bold and brave. Firm and strong. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Incompatible. Irreconcilability. That's it. That is it.